Hello everyone and welcome to my first Flosstube. My name is Kristen. I am not a new stitcher, but I am, I guess I re-caught like the stitchy bug during the, Great Panini. I'm sure many of us experienced the same thing about getting like either getting into the hobby, getting back into the hobby, or being more like serious about the hobby. And that's kind of where I fell. I found, I think it was, what is my hair doing? I think it was the Witchy Stitcher. Somehow I came across the Cryptid Sal at the, I guess, mid 2021. And that became my first, actually, I think that was my first counted. Because I learned on stamped, and then a lot of stuff I did like freehand. I never actually did like a properly charted counted cross stitch, so that was my first counted cross stitch, and was like the biggest piece I think I'd done or had attempted to date. And then from there I found Flosstube, and the Flosstube was the beginning of the end. Because I went from having, I'll work on this one project and this one project will take me many months and I'll be happy with this project, to actually, no, I need everything. I need to do everything because the market has expanded like exponentially since I first learned how to do it. And now that I can count past 10 and can do counted cross stitch and not be intimidated, there's a lot of stuff I need to buy. There's a lot of stuff on my wish list. There's a lot of stuff that keeps coming out. A lot of stuff. So thanks Flosstube for, I guess, ruining my house, because now everything is filled up with floss, patterns, fabric, works in progress, bags. Half the time my husband can't even use the couch because I'm sitting there fully like spread out across the couch. One cushion is like all my floss and the pattern, and then I'm in the other cushion with my lights just cross stitching for hours upon hours upon hours every single day. Well, at least every day that I'm able. So that has been fun. That has been fun for the last, almost a year, I guess, since I've been back into stitching. And then I figured I'd start making floss tubes because I talk to myself enough. I might as well also be talking to people on the internet. I figure it's fair or interesting. I don't know what word I was looking for there. I guess if I have to deal with me, then you have to deal with me too, is what I was getting at. I think the first thing I want to start with is whips that I have started. Whips I have started for Stitch for Pride 2022, the stitching challenge that Dee's20 Stitches is doing over on Instagram right now, for the month of June. Oh yeah, I guess also a happy Pride Month. That's kind of important. And so I didn't actually have a lot of whips, or I didn't have whips that fit the prompts. I only had one whip that I included in the challenge, which was the Cryptid Sal, which I'll get to later because I realized the other day. 2021 me made a very large mistake. Such is life. But I didn't have a lot of whips that fit it, so I ended up starting, or planning to start, 8 projects? I think it was 8. The first one being a Barbara Anna design, Molly. This is one of the freebies. And the first Barbara Anna that I'm stitching, this is on 14 count Aida from DMC, and then it's using all the called for, I'm pretty sure all the called for flosses. And so that's what I've done so far, I didn't get as much as I hoped done on this. Normally I would stitch more than this, but I really hate this fabric. I don't know what it is. It's just very, very stiff, and I probably should have washed it before I started using it, but I'm impatient, and I did not. And then now I'm suffering. But I'm going to continue to suffer, and I'm not going to restart it, and I'm just going to finish it. Because that's just how I am. I'll get through it. I just got to find a needle in my stash that I like to use on that. Because right now, all my what I would normally be like my favorite needle is not my favorite needle, because it messes up all my X's, and I just can't get a clean stitch, and I'm just like, no. But from a distance, my stitches look nice. So, we'll keep it. The other one is still in the hoop, because I'm also, I think today, which is the 7th at the time that I'm filming this, that I'm going to be stitching on this. And this is Let Joy Be Unconfined. It's a freebie from the Blue Flower. And it was originally charted in Dinky Dyes. I did a kind of DMC conversion, and then also this green here. I took out like 3 different greens and made them all this green, because this is the classic Colorworks Weeping Willow. And I like how it's turning out. I don't know if you can really see, but this is the 14 count Printed Aida from DMC, and it's like the blue and green one. I think it looks really pale. I think it's better. Not really, but it's very pale on camera. It's a little bit more bizarre in person. But that'll get stitched more today. And then I have an Instagram post, which is also Shire's Art Hovel, that has like all my full like project details. I can leave them in the description, but I also have an Instagram post if you frequent Instagram, that has all the patterns, all the designers, all the fabrics, and all the floss that I'm using for reference. And then the next one, another freebie. You can see a theme here, because I hoarded way too many freebies at the beginning, and now I want to use them. But this one is again on 14 count Printed DMC Aida. This one shows up a little bit better. It's pink and purple. And this is All You Need Is Love by the Tiny Modernist. And this was originally charted with like a pink owl and a blue owl, and because it's Pride and I had this fabric, I was like, buy flag conversion. So now the text is going to be blue. So I'll put the owl you need, and then down here will be is love, and that'll be in blue. The owls themselves are going to be like this variegated, and then they'll have like pink accents. Like on the cheeks, there's like some cheek details, they like, I guess, blush, and then there's like a wing detail, and there's like some impressions of feathers on their stomach, and that'll be in a like light DMC. I haven't quite figured it out, because I thought I was gonna use the variegated for that stuff, because there's like a pinky purple, which way is this? Yeah, pinky purple spot here. But then I actually stitched it and I hated it. It was just no. So I'm either going to use DMC 224 or 151. Not quite sure. That was a terrible thing. And then, yeah, the rest of the stuff is in Sulky's. My first time, not my first time using Sulky's, but my first time using Sulky's for the majority of the piece. Most of the times, like, Sulky's are like a accent. So that's that one. And then this is the last one I've started. Yeah, this is the last one I've started. Not that light or that light? I don't know. But this is the last one I've started for the prompt so far. And this is called, I think it's Birthday Bat. Excuse me. Birthday Bat by Bad Stitched. I got it when it was her birthday, or like birthday weekend, and so it was free for like a day or two, and now it's on her Etsy and Ko-fi for about $5. I think it's $5, which I would gladly pay because it's super cute. It's like a little bat face and he's in a cupcake. It's darling. And I am stitching it with most of the called for DMC, and it's on this 40 count like mystery dyed linen from Fortnight Fabrics. I get the like ornament fabric of the month club, and this is one of the pieces that I got February, I think, and I had no idea what I was going to stitch on this, but I was very excited to stitch something on this. And then when I got the freebie, then I knew that I had to stitch on this. But tell me why. I stitched a small on 40 count in the middle. This is basically as wide as like this piece goes. Like this is the center. This is the ear. This is the ear. I don't need like 3 to 4 inches of margin around this thing. Why did I forget that this was going to be super tiny? I don't know, but I did, and I wasn't gonna undo all this. So I'm now gonna make this a little sampler. Whenever I find like really cute gothic things that are smalls that go with the colors, I'm gonna stitch them on here, and eventually at some point I will have a nice filled piece of linen and it'll be very cute, and then I won't feel like I totally wasted a beautiful piece of fabric for a tiny design, even though the design will look great on it. So that's my plan for that. A happy accident, I guess, because I'm kind of excited to see what I will put on this in the future and how it turns out. Because I've heard of people doing that before, and I've always wanted to do it, and now I'm doing it. So that is it for the new starts. The Cryptid Sow, which I started working on again on the 2nd. I hadn't gotten very far on the Cryptid Sow. I had done like the top half of the border, and I had done Mothman, and then I'd started stitching stuff for Christmas and totally let the sow like run away from me and hadn't gotten back to it. And then 2 months ago, I started on the border again to try to get the frame completed, and I made pretty good progress, and I worked more on the frame, hoping to get the frame finished before I got to like the next prompt that had me working on my Cryptid Sow, so that I could do the whip go portion of of the sow, which is to do two of the figures. I had 3 pages left, plus like the moon accents on the side and the accents on the bottom. And then I was approaching the end when I realized, does this look like that's gonna match to you? Does that look like that's gonna line up? No, it does not. And then I was just trying to figure out how I had done this, how this had happened, and I'm like counting, I'm pulling out all my working copies, and I'm going through all the pages, making sure everything's counted right, because at least everything that I did this year should have been counted right. And then I'm like, it must be the top. But how? It must be the top. And I realized, little me, back in 2021, put an extra space right here. There's supposed to be 1 space. I put 2 spaces. So the entirety from the Y to the other end has to be taken out and restitched so that they match up. Which I guess is fine, but I'm just so sick and tired of this border because I was about here, like in the middle of the bottom. Like I hadn't done any of the like moons, like I said, or any of the accents or any of this yet, but I had done all the 310. And so I stitched all the cross here, all the way up here. I did all the moons over here, all the bottom and all of this, and then realized, and I was so sad because I thought I was going to be finished with it because I was making great time. I got a lot of work in. I did like 3 pages worth of stitching in a day, which, I mean, is a border, so you know it's repetitive. You don't really have to look at the chart, you just kind of stitch. But still, I was proud of myself, and then I realized, oh no, past me made an error like at the very beginning. Very, very beginning. Yeah. But I mean, what you gonna do? Counting is hard. Isn't that I mean, there are multiple designers with counting is hard patterns, but yeah, that's what I got so far. And this is, that was probably crooked. This is 18 count Aida that I tea-dyed myself. And then of course I'm using all the call for DMC whenever I get there. But yeah, I guess the next time I get this for June, I might be actually ripping out the frame and restitching that. And we'll see if I get to the 2 cryptids stitched for Whipco. I'll take just completing the border for Whipco this month. After this unexpected delay, I'll take that. Oh, and one of my pieces of fabric did not get put back in this bag. Oops. I'll get that afterwards. And then the final whip that I have is also for Whipco. And technically I finished my Whipco goal on it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. I don't have much of this left, so I could theoretically finish it this month. I don't know if I'm going to, but I could, because it's very small. This is Harvest of Plenty by Scattered Seed Samplers. And directions are hard. And of course, it's very small. I think I have the chart right here. So all I have to do is the other squirrel, the other like acorn stand, and then I don't focus. Thank you. I don't think I'm gonna do the alphabet. Don't think I'm gonna do the alphabet. So I really have not much left. I really could finish it. But for Whipco, I'd only put like one motif because I didn't know how busy my year was going to be. But I've ended up with a lot of time. And some of that might be procrastination time that I shouldn't have had, but I ended up with a lot of time anyway. And then I'm not using the called for floss. I'm using Gentle Art Gingersnap and Classic Colorworks Balsam Fur for those. And I really like how it looks. I was kind of concerned because the variegation of those isn't like super intense, because they're kind of like dark colors. But you can really see it. I think you could see it better on, like the contrast was more intense on camera. But yeah, that actually came out much better than I thought. And I think this is 36 count 36 count summer khaki linen. That's what that is. Okay, I think that's all the whips. I haven't had any finishes recently that I could think of. And I'm planning on doing like a finish like parade of like the finishes that I have still in my possession, because some stuff I did make at the end of 2021 that I ended up giving away because they were gifts. So I think now a very brief haul of stuff that I've gotten recently. Starting with Stitchy Box. I saw, I guess it was on Instagram. Someone on Instagram had posted, or do I get the emails? Either way, Stitchy Box until June 15th is doing a grab bag of their 8-yard skeins, and so I ordered one of those. And even though I shouldn't have ordered that one, I really wish I'd ordered more, because these are gorgeous. And they're also, these are my first silks. Yeah, these are my first silks. So I'm very excited. This one is winter mix. Aries Shield, which is very, it looks better in person, I think, than, whoops, hope that wasn't loud. This one is Frost, kind of hard to see that one. I think this is one they carry all the time. Like they're, I mean, they carry Aries, I think, all the time too. But like one of their regular one tone, one color, basically one, I don't remember what they're called, but I don't know what word I'm even looking for. But it's not like one of like their special edition ones. Like this one's autumn, and this is like one of the special editions, which is very pretty. And then this one is my favorite. And whenever I have disposable fun money, if this is still in stock, I will be going back and getting it, because how did I live my life before this? And this one I had to even I even Googled to see how to say this. Tequaminon Falls? I think it's a place in Michigan. Why do you not want to focus? but it's very pretty. It has like really bright pops of blue, purple, green, some orange, like brownie tones, and then kind of like a like mossy green. It's the best thing. I was super excited when I pulled that out of the bag. But all of them are great. And then I also get the Cottage Garden Samplings A Year in the Woods series. So recently I've gotten, 6 and 7. I'm on the auto ship with Top Knot Stitcher. So those come every month. And then I also picked up some extra goodies to go with those two. So this is the Keramos Bestiary from Ingleside Imaginarium, which, I mean, love it. Love it. I don't know like what fabric. I don't have like it like kitted up yet, because I kind of want to change the colors. She was very specific about the color she chose, or like intentional, I guess this was the correct word. She was very intentional about the color she chose to kind of like represent as close as possible to like ancient pottery. But I kind of want to see if there are some like variegated floss with like subtle variegation, but still variegation to kind of just like give it a little like oomph. Because I think it would be kind of cool if there was like kind of like specks in it to kind of show that it's kind of clay-like, even though technically this would be painted on with glazes, but technically if it's not a well crushed glaze, there could be particles in it. So just something to kind of give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more like worn, I guess a worn look, but I'll figure that out eventually. I'm not quite there, as I still have to finish all these projects I just started this month. And then I also got this Thread Milk Design Wander with me, which I'm going to have to do a full conversion for, because I don't have those flosses and I don't want to buy them. But that's also a project for a later date, but I thought it was cute, and patterns can't travel alone. It's the rules. 'Tis the rules. Oh, and then I also got the was it the pin cushion? Her grandmother's pin cushion, Abby's grandmother's pin cushion. The pattern that some of the proceeds went to help with those displaced by the issues in the Ukraine. So I got that one, which I will also stitch at a later point. But then Abby has cards. I don't think I had gotten one of these cards in the previous thing, so I don't know if they're like new, but how cute are these? And you bet I'm going to hole punch this tiny hoop and make a floss drop out of this. I don't use floss drops often, but I'm gonna use these because they are cute, and I would rather use them than throw them away. And I think that's it. I think that's all I had. Whips, no finishes, a little bit of haul, and then in the coming weeks I will hopefully have like I said, a finish parade, and then maybe a whip parade, because I do have quite a few whips now. I went from being a monogamous snitcher on the Cryptid Sow to having 2 drawers. They're not full, but there's quite a few. There goes my phone. So in the coming weeks, I hope to have, like I said, the excuse me, phone. That's rude. I hope to have the finish parade, and then also like a whip parade, and kind of like a. It's not really is it like a stash dive? But like just I don't have like many like physical chart patterns. But I figure if I'm gonna do the whips, I might as well show you the patterns that I do have. So that'll be put together in one video. And we'll see what happens after that. I don't think I'm definitely not a weekly floss tuber. I can't even say I'm an every 2 weeks floss tuber. I can try for once a month. I can try for that. I always have high hopes for myself, and then I get distracted by things. And with editing videos, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I guess the only thing else is if you had any questions about any of the projects, any of the patterns, all the important information, I'm gonna leave in the description box, and then I'll also have a link to my Instagram and I guess my Twitch. I haven't streamed on there in a while, but I hope to. We'll see. But on my Instagram, I have the post with all the project details for the Stitch for Pride 2022 challenge. That one has all of them, even the ones that I haven't even started yet, if you ever need that as a future reference. And I guess that's it. So I will see you when I see you, and have a great day, evening, whatever, wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye.